and welcome to the Get Legit Legal Challenge. Now, this may be a slightly different challenge to things that you've seen on the internet before, where you join a Facebook group and sort of play along for points and prizes. This is a challenge that I'm extending to you to look at your business in a slightly different way and work out whether you can protect it better, because it's going to make a huge impact if you can. Now, before we go any further, I should introduce myself in case we haven't met yet. I'm Lucy Wheeler, often known as Lucy Legal, and whilst I don't want to spend loads of time talking about me and my business, I think it's important that you do know that I'm a UK-based solicitor. I spent over 10 years in private practice and have spent the last 4 years, I set up Lucy Legal 4 years ago, to support entrepreneurs, and in that time I've helped thousands of people with templates and courses and trademarks, and I also have my own law firm. So I definitely know what I'm talking about, but I want to be able to help you today, because a lot of the time people come to me and they are sort of confused with what they need to do. Like, how do you actually legally protect your business? And it's a totally valid question, given that you probably haven't gone to law school, you haven't got a law degree, but you know you've got to do it. It's part of being in business. And actually, part of this challenge is for you to really sit down and start thinking about protecting your business as an asset, and knowing that in doing so, firstly, you can show up properly for it. You'll get the confidence that you need to go out there and sell, because you know you're selling legitimately. You'll know by the end of these couple of videos that we've got and the end of the challenge, you'll know more about refund rights. So if somebody does come to you and says, can I have a refund, you'll know how to handle it. And you'll be able to show up confidently, knowing that people aren't going to steal your work, or how you can protect your work and the opportunities available to you there. And this is so important, because your business, if created in a way which is protected, could be an incredible asset to not only you and your clients, so you can go out and share your message with the world, but also for your family too, so that you can generate income and stability and create this life that you love. So yes, sometimes people think about legal as being the really boring stuff. Sometimes people think about it as just that bit on the footer at the bottom of their website. But it's so much more than that. And over the course of these 3 challenge videos, I'm going to show you that. And I'm also going to extend an invitation at the end in case you wanted to work with us. But really, I do free challenges every now and again to support you to really get your business to take off in the direction that it should. So, without further ado, let's get stuck into part 1. And the problem that most of my clients face is that they want to be legitimate, but they don't know how. And they actually really want to do things properly. They want to get it right. They don't want to missell to people. They don't want to create fake scarcity. They don't like that kind of thing. They don't necessarily like the way that everybody talks about money in the online space. I mean, personally, I don't like that either. And they want to be able to sell in a way that feels good and that doesn't feel icky, but they don't really know where to start. And for that, you need my blueprint. You need my Protect Your Business Blueprint to help you go through the steps that you need to be thinking about. Now, some of these might be really, really quick and simple, and it might be the case that you are like, oh, I've actually already done that, like done, that one's already sorted, which I really hope will be the case for you. So let's get started. The 6 steps. Step 1 is all about ensuring that you've set up your business correctly, and then when you have done, you stay legitimate, okay? So it's about putting in the process in place of looking at what is the ideal setup model for you. Now, it may be that you need to set up as a sole trader, or it may be that you need to register as a limited company. And I can't advise you. All of the information in this video, it's information only. It's not advice, because I don't know about your business. But what I'd love you to do now is let me know in the comments. Obviously it'll show your name, but let me know your business as well, and feel free to share your URL, share your website link. It'll be a great way for you to promote your business, because all of the other entrepreneurs watching this as well will see it. So put a comment below and just let me know like what industry you're in, because I'd love to know more about what you're doing. and share if you like, whether you're a limited company or a sole trader. And they're the two options that most businesses have to decide in the UK. Now, the good thing for you is this: if you start off as a sole trader, you don't have to stay there. You can move to being a limited company. And often accountants will say that you should move depending on how much you're earning. Lawyers may give you a different view. But that's the decision you need to be making early on in your business. And in addition to that, you need to decide how you're going to ensure you stay legitimate. And I'm saying this right at the start because I want you to have a proper plan in place whereby you check in on your legals at least every quarter. So right now, you're possibly watching this because you're thinking, I've got a lot to do. This is why I'm here, Lucy. This is what we're doing. I'm checking on my legals because I know they need sorting. Well, that's wonderful. But I also want you to know that unfortunately, it's not something legal that you can just do and it's done once and then it's over. We'll get on in a minute to privacy and how much that's changed recently. You can't just do the legal once and it's over. You need to kind of keep going on with this. So what I always suggest to people is that you have a little notebook and you jot down things that are coming up. Maybe a client asks you a question, you're like, oh, I don't really know the answer to that. I need to find that out. Or something feels a bit sticky around one of your clauses in your contract. Keep a running note of those, and at least every quarter, update them. So perhaps attach this to reviewing your quarterly figures within your business, okay? And it might be when you get to the end of the quarter, there's nothing to do, which is going to be wonderful for you. So that's step one, the setup. Step two is ensuring that you sell legitimately online. Now, there are a lot of rules around how to sell properly that sometimes a lot of people just seem to throw right out the window and just do exactly what they want online, which, to be honest, makes me really mad. And I see people all the time say things like, no refunds. That's wrong. No refunds is entirely incorrect. Everybody has the right to a refund, and people think, oh, well, if it's business to business, you can say no refunds. That's wrong. If you are a business providing services to another business and you are rubbish, it's pretty obvious that there's a right there for them to ask for a refund. So this idea of no refunds is I don't know who did this online, but it's wrong, and we need to stop doing that and work out what the right way to do is. And actually, I'm going to be going through this in detail for you because this one's so important. So this is something we're going to focus on as well as part of this challenge. But that's part two. It's all about how you sell legitimately online. It's making sure you've got terms and conditions in place and that you understand them and that you can explain them to your clients. It's making sure you've got a refund policy, a complaints policy. Have you got one? Most businesses don't have a complaints policy. But I've heard leading entrepreneurs say that you've really made it when you get your first complaint or your first refund request. And I'm not sure we should be aiming for that necessarily, but it's going to happen. And having that process in place, this is the stuff that helps you sleep at night. This is the stuff that means you can go away from your business, leave your VA or OBM in charge, or actually just take some downtime and know that you don't have to be terrified of opening your inbox. I mean, I don't know about you, but there have been times in my business where I've been really worried when I started out, like what will happen? Will someone complain? Like when I first saw my first template, I was like, are they going to like it? Will they like it? Nobody even said anything. That was one thing as well. People didn't always give us feedback about the templates. We do have fantastic feedback, but sometimes we just don't hear from people. And I guess no news is good news, but you worry as an entrepreneur because you're so passionate that what you're doing is helping people make a difference, and you don't want to open your inbox and get a complaint. So that's your part two. Part three, super important. Make sure you've got this on your list and make sure you check on this one regularly. Privacy. So privacy has huge implications. It's all about protecting your clients' data and ensuring that they are looked after, to be honest. And since the UK left the EU, there have been a number of significant changes. You may have seen the part where data shields were in and now they're out again and we don't use those. And it's really important if you're transferring data, the storage of data out of the UK, which you may well do if you use something like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, where their servers are based not in the UK, that you have the proper privacy policy in place to allow you to transfer that data out of the UK, because that's essentially what you're doing. And whilst some companies and businesses like Stripe have moved and they have a UK entity, so you might take payments and it all remain in the UK, not every business has done that. So privacy is something really important that you need to make sure that you understand and that you're keeping up to date on. The fourth thing on our blueprint is brand protection. How are you protecting your brand? There are 4 elements of brand protection, often known as your IP, intellectual property. Don't know if you know that. Sometimes people talk about legal and it feels a little bit of a different language, doesn't it? Intellectual property is your IP, and you can protect that in 4 ways: with patents, trademarks, copyright, and trade secrets. Now you might be thinking, I don't have any trade secrets, Lucy. You will do. I'm sure you do have processes within your business that you need to be protecting, that you don't want other people to take. And in understanding the difference between copyright and trademarks, and understanding what you can protect in your business, it's really important. So copyright is the right to be copied. It's the right every person owns as the creator, as the right to be copied, and you can determine whether people can copy you or not. So that's why people say all rights reserved. I'm reserving my right for you to copy me. And in understanding that, you can then understand, if you are the creator, how you give assets to other people that you might be working with. Section 5 on your business blueprint is all about contracts. You'll hear about contracts, terms and conditions, agreements, that kind of thing. And these are imperative that you have in place and that they are clear. Because if you don't have terms and you don't tell people, for example, their right to a refund, a consumer can ask for a refund up to a year and a day later. So we don't want to get this wrong. We want to have robust contracts in place that cover us, that limit our liability, that tell people what we can deliver and then what we can't deliver, so that we manage people's expectations as well as possible. The 6th and final part is an exciting part which you might be at or you might not be, or it might be sort of where you're heading, and that's all about scaling your business. And it's all about how do you protect your business if you want some help. And whilst you might be like, actually, I don't want to scale and get employees yet, I don't think, I do want to understand, if I work with a VA, like, what exposure am I giving my business to her? Like, is she going to steal all my ideas? Or how will she look after client data? Do I need a data processing agreement in place? All of those kinds of things need to be considered when you're looking to scale. But as I said, if it's just you and it's just you and your business, then perhaps at this point you don't need to think about that. So we've got the business blueprint there, the protect your business blueprint, those 6 points, and hopefully you've noted those down. And you can go through those and think now about each one and each element of. Some of those you might have covered, some of you might have already done them. If you got, for example, a privacy policy back in 2018, when GDPR first came out, you definitely need to go back and revisit that, because it's been quite a while. But there might be things that you already have in place or you don't. But the thing that I really want us to focus on is this idea of selling legitimately online and how we sell, because that's going to be like sort of part 2 and part 5 on the blueprint. The terms and conditions, the courses, like what contractual terms do you need in place? What do you need to do to protect yourself from getting a refund? Can you stop refund requests coming in? And that's something I want to explore with you in video 2. But I would love for you now, if you haven't done so already, I invite you to pop something in the comments, either about your business or about something that you hadn't realised today, something you've learned. And it might have been what copyright is, or the whole business blueprint, or just really the importance of getting the legal stuff right and how it's really going to empower you and help you to drive your business forward. Because getting this in place, I don't want to say like my business helps people sleep at night, because that probably is a little bit misleading. But it really does. It really helps people to have the confidence to show up, to really go out and change the world and the impact with their clients, which is a really exciting thing. And that's what I want for you. I want us to get this blueprint set out. I want you to have a clear plan of what you need to have in place. And then I want us to sort of work out when you're going to start filling in those gaps. Thank you so much for your time and for watching this video, and I'll catch up with you again on video 2.